If you love football, soccer, then you probably love the Apple TV hit comedy Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso, a quirky, soccer-naive American coach, finds his way to England where he comes in to manage a fictitious but struggling Premier League side, AFC Richmond. Hello everyone, this is Rev Brad, and you're listening to the Soccer Chaplains United podcast from the Touchline. With 20 plus years in and around the beautiful game, both as a chaplain and a press officer before that, I thought I would share in this series some lessons from Ted Lasso. Essentially give a chaplain's perspective on some of the things we see on the show and mesh them up with my own experience. In this series, I'm going to try not to over-spiritualize what we see on the screen, but I do want to comment on some of the elements that I believe can be great points of personal and professional development, no matter your role or relationship with soccer. Whether you're an athlete, a coach, a staffer, or an executive with the beautiful game, I think this series will be fun, creative, and have a little bit of everything for everyone. Just a side note, whilst I've changed this opener from the original one, I will keep the opener for a little while, so if you're listening regularly, when you hear the Ted Lasso theme music at the start of the pod, you can go ahead and skip forward to the 2-minute mark to skip the intro and get right into the pod for the day. Thank you for listening to the From the Touchline podcast. Here we go with a lesson from Ted Lasso.
He's found the space and he's found the back of the net.
Just a little off foot, thinking he's going to go far post. Not strong enough with his right hand.
Whips that one in. Far post, almost made him ends, and they have. He has the hat-trick. The second in his career. The third of the night. The hat-trick hero.
Talked about you're not going to be able to sustain that kind of pressure.
To the corner. Goes towards the near post. And you're the angle, and what a goal! What a goal!
So we're finally on episode 2. Coach Lasso and Coach Beard are walking to work. Lasso has a bit of a pep in his step and he asks, you know what today feels like? First day of school. Lasso is exuberant. Yes, it's the first day of school feeling. He even lets a little pre-coffee morning whoop of excitement out. For Coach Beard, he shares that he feels a bit nervous, and Ted's response is right. There's no such thing as last day jitters. Do you remember back to your first day of school? Or maybe it was the first day at that new club, that new job, that dream club. Maybe it was the first moment you stepped out on the pitch as a professional player, or you coached in that really big match, the one that was for all the marbles, so to speak. Do you remember those feelings? Do you remember, did you feel more excited or more nervous? Did you have those jitters? Personally, as a chaplain and as a pastor, my nervous moments have come more before speaking in front of a large crowd than stepping onto the field. But I think we can all relate to those feelings of being in a new place, one filled with tons of promise, but also with a degree of uncertainty and some measure of risk and reward. How do we cope in those moments? Well, first, I believe God prepares us as a people for the challenges that lie ahead in our lives. We see this in the life of David. He courageously volunteers to face the giant and the champion Goliath, the one that's sort of bad-mouthing his people. His bravery is questioned, though, because he isn't a soldier. But he speaks to the seeming gap in his CV. Listen to these words. But David said to Saul, King Saul, your servant has been keeping his father's sheep. When a lion or a bear came and carried off a sheep from the flock, I went after it, struck it, and rescued the sheep from its mouth. When it turned on me, I seized it by its hair, struck it, and killed it. Your servant has killed both the lion and the bear. This uncircumcised Philistine will be one of them, because he has defied the armies of the living God. The Lord who rescued me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will rescue me from the hand of this Philistine. You can find that in 1 Samuel chapter 17, verses 34 through 37. You can find David sort of filling in of the resume, so to speak. For Beard and Lasso, they too have had their lion and bear history. Beard, noticing that Lasso is wringing his hands and nervous before the training session, offers a reminder from their own past. Remember what you said to me the first day of coaching at Wichita State? Relax, they're just kids. In that moment, Beard is reminding Lasso, hey, we've been here before. We've faced a new opportunity full of challenge and uncertainty. The reminder of their past challenge and success is a bridge into this new opportunity. It's a helpful reminder, hey, we've been here before. So what new opportunity is looming in your life right now? Maybe it's a new team situation. Maybe it's coaching a different setup. Maybe it's a new relationship in your life. Maybe it's an exciting time as you're facing marriage or a new child coming into the family. Or maybe it's a bit more challenging. Maybe there's a loss, a death. a divorce, a graduation, an empty nest, as it were. There are those first day jitters. There is a mix of excitement at what promises in store, but also a nervousness too. As a person of faith, I can remind you that God has been with you in the past. Like David, God has given you victory over lions and bears, and he will be with you as you face this next giant. If you're not a person who has faith in God, I bet if I listened to your story for even an hour, I could see ways that God has been part of your story, ways he has been faithful to you, and maybe you haven't even had the eyes to see it. And my friend, let me tell you, when you and I know that God is with us, it can make any first day of school be one filled with excitement and joy at the promise, the potential, and the possibilities. Well, thanks for listening to this lesson from Ted Lasso. This is Reb Brad coming to you from the touchline.